Hello, I'm Thomas and this is a tutorial video about the very first steps with Game4Automation. I recommend to use a Unity 2018.4 long-term stable release, but Unity 2019 and upwards should also work. So if you started Unity, you will get first a very empty scene here. And in the scene hierarchy and in the assets, there's more or less nothing included. So we are going first to install Game4Automation. There are two ways. Whether you purchased it via the asset store, then you should go to the asset store and if you purchased, for example, the starter version, you can update if you already downloaded it. If you not already downloaded it, there will be a download button. Now it's on your computer, and as soon as you've got the import button, you can import the asset into this current empty project. Just accept, you see what he's going to import, just accept, push import. Unity will compile and import all the assets. And as soon as it is installed, you should have the demo scene automatically opened. There might be some errors in the console log, but you can ignore them. They're just coming up on the first installation. And you've got here your demo scene. What it did, it installed under the folder Game4Automation in your assets all the tools and prefabs you will need to use in Game4Automation. And there's new menu bar here, Game4Automation. And with Open Demo Scene, you can open this scene where we implemented some of the Game4Automation functions. For navigating the scene, you can use the scroll wheel for zooming, the middle mouse button for panning the scene around, and the right mouse button for rotating the scene. If you would like to, you could also use a 3D mouse from 3D Connection. It's also supported. In the scene view here, you can select different viewing modes. You can turn off and on the light. And on the gizmos, there are several gizmos which might help you in the scene. To select things, for example, and if you have got, for example, the light gizmos on and the camera gizmos on, you will see it like that. Usually I turn all these gizmos off, so turn them off if you don't need them, but you should turn on one gizmo, the drive gizmo. That's a Game4Automation gizmo. And this gizmo is showing you the drive directions on axis, or here on the grippers, for example, also the current directions. So please turn the gizmo drive on. Sometimes in the scene view there's a UI included, and if the layer UI is not turned off, you will see this gray thing. So check the layers. You can turn off and on layers and different things on different layers. If you turn off UI, you won't get all this UI stuff, the gray box displayed. You can change also the viewing mode between a perspective mode and an isometric view here. And you can rotate by clicking on the global axis directions on the right upper corner of the window. For starting this demo scene, you need to press on Start. If it's paused, you should unpause it. And you will see here an info screen. You can close it, and maybe statistics. If you turned it on, you can turn it off here. And as you see, always when I'm starting and stopping, the display is changing between scene and game view. But even the scene view is showing you the same. And sometimes, for example, for the gizmos, more information than the game view. The game view is what you will see later on if you distribute it as a compiled version. So during development, I usually take the game view and make it very small or put it on a second screen, because I just want to see the scene view and don't be disturbed by the opening game view. In the scene, you are navigating with the standard Unity scene navigations, while as in the game view, we are navigating by the implemented camera controllers and viewing controllers inside of Game4Automation. And all these controllers are in the standard component Game4Automation. Here you've got in the Game4Automation controller script a lot of standard settings about scale, speed. For example, you can make the simulation faster with a speed override for the drives, or a time scale for the simulation speed. But in the underneath components on the camera, you've got also the scripts for the scene mouse navigation and the touch interaction in the scene. So everything how we navigate in the scene is controlled by these scripts, and you are having a lot of options here to change the control. That's an advantage of Game4Automation, because if you start from scratch with an empty Unity project, you won't have any scene view navigation already included in your project. And we are including here everything what you need, from the scene mouse navigation, space navigator support for 3D mouse, you can turn it on, or touch navigation for touch displays. We also have some standard camera positions here. So we've got a standard camera position with F1, 2 and 3 in the scene view for navigating. So in the compiled version you can have standard positions, and you are also able to change it. In every project you are doing with Game4Automation, you need the Game4Automation component included, and at least the Game4Automation controller. You could delete everything what's underneath here, but you will lose all the lights, the bottom of the scene, and the camera, including all the camera navigation. If you start the scene, you will see that an info box is popping up, and you can stop this info box from popping up if you select here hide info box. You're pushing on play again, and you will see that the scene is directly starting without the info box. If you want to get rid of all the UI components included, you can also select UI, deselect UI enabled on start, and you will have an empty scene without any kind of menu bar or runtime inspector components included. That's all for the very first start. Have fun in using Game4Automation, and for additional information you can check the other YouTube videos or the online documentation of Game4Automation.